Hello, and thank you for joining me in our class today of where in your life do you need more honesty? So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the slides. So let me just get to that. Okay, where in your life do you need more honesty? And what I have here that you can see in front of you is a picture. I know it's a little skewed. I apologize for that. But this here, it's an image of like a goddess, someone who's like experiencing that kind of like passion and sexual energy. And she's expressing that just through her being. So that's just something that's kind of important to note. So I have on the very next slide here, I want you to look to the right and you'll see this image. And it's this image of this woman and she's kind of a goddess woman. She's really bright. It's a little hard to make out her, like actual like features on there. But what I want you to focus on is the goddess part of her. She's this goddess. She's standing there. She's like you in her posture. You can see that she's completely comfortable in who she is and what she's representing. You can see that there's absolutely nothing in this picture that is being forced or that is holding back. Everything is being totally and completely expressed very naturally, and it's very naturally goddess and in that goddess presence. So as you look at her, I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to connect with this goddess woman, and I want you to connect with the goddess woman in you. And I want you to ask yourself, where in your life have you not been honest with her? Or where in my life am I not honest with her, the goddess within you, or this woman right here? If you need to use someone outside of yourself, ask yourself to this goddess here, where in my life am I not honest with her? What have you been telling this beautiful goddess that perhaps is not all true? Where have you been keeping secrets or holding back? What would it take from you to stand as she stands, to be as she is? And I've italicized the word be and is for a reason, because you can see in this picture, she's just being. She's not doing anything. She's just being. And being the goddess is just what she is. So she doesn't have to make being a goddess happen. She just, through being, that's what she is. And that lives within you. You can see she's not forcing anything. And everything that is happening here is happening by choice. She stands beautifully and fully in her power, not forcing. She knows all of herself and is honest in her reality. Because of that, she has no reason to hide. Her goddess self can come out with ease. She can live with all parts of her illuminated self because she's worked through all her shadows, all her realities. She is open and honest. She's transparent and has no need to hide. A lot of times we have something that we've stuffed down in hopes it won't surface ever. And with enough time, our immediate conscious has forgotten what it is. Deep down, the memory lives. But the surface area has been looking only outward, and it's easy for these darker memories to lie dormant. But they don't just lie there and do nothing. They leak these feelings of guilt and shame slowly to the surface, affecting our daily lives subconsciously if we're not aware that we have this shadow, that I call it, living down below. The important thing to remember here is that it's okay. You're okay. You are okay for having these feelings. You are okay for having your shadow. Having a shadow does not make you a bad person. It is simply the opportunity for growth and development. And when you're ready to grow in any given area, that accompanying shadow, if you have one in that particular area, whatever that is for you, surfaces as resistance training to help you grow strong. Your shadow doesn't have a life of its own. It is a complete reflection of your perception. How you respond to its pressure will determine your outcome. So if you're resistant to the transformation process of working through your shadows as they come up, they won't actually get resolved, and you'll find yourself repeating the same pattern in your life over and over. Every time you're faced with something that triggers you inside and you resist that feeling of being triggered, that situation that triggered you, it will continue to show up in your life, and you will have developed a habit for how to stuff it back down and work to avoid whatever it was that triggered you at all costs. So this is known as a pattern. And you know when you're stuck in this pattern because it will continue to be something that shows up in your life over and over and over. For example, if you attract men who hurt you or men who leave you, or if you have a hard time attracting money and holding on to it, you can attract it, but it slips through your fingers. Or you're having a hard time attracting it at all, but when you do, you hold on to it tightly. These are all patterns, and they're associated with these shadows that live down below. And when we resist those shadows, these learning that offer learning opportunities, and we stuff it back down because we're resisting it, then that pattern is just going to continue to show up in your life. Now, I do want to make sure that you guys know and understand that I know there's a difference between intuitively knowing when you need to bow out of a triggered situation, because though it has presented itself to you, maybe right now is not the time. So there's that situation, but then there's also holding yourself back or keeping yourself stuck in this circular pattern that quickly becomes the most frustrating thing you've ever experienced in life. So there's a difference between intuitively knowing that, you know what, there's this learning experience that's presenting itself up to me right now, but now is just not the time. I need to just cool down, calm down, whatever it is, get myself in a safe feeling, a safe area, safe place. And I need to just kind of, bow out for the moment. And then I will come back and readdress this because I know this is something I'm dealing with and I want to get through this. There's a difference between that and holding yourself back, keeping yourself stuck in your circular pattern, which is extremely frustrating. How ultimately frustrating and angering is it? And very self-defeating it feels to feel totally helpless, like you're at the mercy of the universe who seems to not have your back. So this is where your level of honesty with yourself becomes crucial and completely life-changing. When we don't resist and we allow what wants to come forward to step up, things will change for you, and they will change fast. Very quickly. I just went through this myself. I actually posted it to my Facebook page and it got a really wonderful response. I faced a shadow I'd been holding on to, thinking I was protecting myself while simultaneously knowing intuitively that this belief, which is my shadow, was not serving my highest potential. But it felt safe. It was familiar and I had survived thus far, so why let go of this thing that wasn't serving me? Because it was in fact holding me back. At first, when it presented itself for release, I totally resisted. I held on to it, even though I knew it wasn't good for me. I knew I needed to let it go so I could embrace the tremendous growth right in front of me. But it was scary and it was painful. It actually hurt really bad. So bad, in fact, that I grew physically exhausted. I needed to take naps during the day, which was really difficult because I do have 3 active children who need my quality time and attention. I had to learn to make time for me and get those naps in, or I wasn't going to have the energy to let go. Finally, I sat down with my tarot and oracle cards because those are the tools that I tend to use and kind of go toward to get clarity. I got out my journal and I started with the truth. I asked, what is my truth right now? I needed a clear vision of reality because that's what makes working through our shadows so difficult at times. It's a shadow, meaning it's pretty dark in there. It's hard to see. It's murky. It's misty. They're really good at muddling our reality, at like muddying up our view, making our truth appear as something other than what our reality actually is. So the first question to start with is, what is true? Once you are willing to see the truth through the shadow, your intuition will immediately kick in, just like hormones when you're ready to deliver your baby. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, your body goes, we've got this, it's time. And you get yourself ready to welcome the beautiful yet excruciatingly painful process of delivering yourself from your pregnancy. Your body knows what to do without you ever saying a word. You don't have to know anything about having a baby, and your body will completely take care of you. With or without your mind, your body has instincts, and it will operate. Delivering yourself from a shadow is actually really similar. Once you stop resisting the pain and allow yourself to feel what you're feeling and accept your truth, your intuition comes in and takes over. She guides you immediately to your next action, whether it's to rest after delivering yourself from such a deep shadow, or to speak your truth to someone, or to embrace something you've been afraid of. She will take you where you need to be. What is so wonderful about accepting the truth of your reality is once you stop resisting, the pain will completely dissipate. It's like that was the birth. The baby's out. You did it. You accepted so you could release and let it go, and immediately it doesn't hurt anymore. How beautiful is that? So, so beautiful. We come out the other side empowered to embrace another aspect of ourselves. You've just added yet another arrow to your quiver of your divine power. So beautiful. So what to do now? What I want you to do now is sit with this information, meditate, go for a walk in nature, spend time looking into your pet's eyes, should you have one. Do these things with the intention of looking deep within at your deepest truths. Often when I look into the eyes of my dog, he's a standard poodle. Actually, you might even be able to see him in my camera because he's in here with me because he's always by my side. Often when I look into his eyes, I see into the depths of my own soul. I see reflected back to me my truths with all the compassion in the world coming from him, my sweet animal partner. So oftentimes animals can be a really great access point for that because it's coupled with their compassion for us. So it kind of helps us to integrate what our truth and our reality is with this compassion behind it so that it's not this like ultra painful experience. It still is incredibly painful. I'm just going to let you know, giving birth really sucks. It really hurts. But once you're delivered of that baby and you go through the process of healing after that, because your body is going to, but it's going to happen on its own. Your body will begin to heal itself. You don't have to do anything. Just rest. Just care for yourself. After you've had this baby, you focus on you. And you allow your body, you let your body heal. And then you give thanks and gratitude that you made it through that experience and you're transformed now. You're a different person. And it's like that with our shadows. Walking out in nature offers us a moment to be alone with just ourselves. The trees, the rocks, the little forest animals, they don't take on themselves our own personal crap. They don't absorb us, but instead they mirror back to us our own selves. Oftentimes when we're surrounded by people, we're in kind of like a sponge/reflection situation where we're getting back projections from others along with reflections of ourselves, which can muddy what our reality actually is. This is why nature walks, meditation, spending time with our animals really has the most to offer. You are goddess. As you do these activities with the intention of peering into your own soul, allow what wants to surface to come up. Don't worry about doing anything with it. Just let it surface and explore it. If you really want to amp up seeing your insides, wear a piece of golden sheen obsidian. I'm telling you from personal experience, it works every time. Be prepared though to have some experiences. If you're not staying aware of your intentions, your shadows will take you by surprise and they will hit you hard. This is what's happened to me, actually on a few occasions, LOL. Yeah, there have been many times where I've had to be like, oh wait, I'm wearing my obsidian. Of course I'm having these experiences. Of course my shadow's like coming up all the time. I've like initiated this action and I wasn't completely conscious of that. So be conscious of that. Okay, so what I want you to do from here is to get out there and start honoring your honesty. If you have been keeping secrets and that is holding you back from exposing the goddess within, maybe now's the time to let them out. Above everything else, though, I want you to have compassion with yourself, especially through this process. You're worthy, you're beautiful, and by working through this, you are embracing your goddess. Don't let your shadows keep her bound. Get through your shadows so you can let her out. She wants to come out and play. She's waiting for you. You've got this. You can do it. Sometimes getting that honesty, that initial honesty out, especially if it's something really heavy and hard, like cheating on a spouse or cheating in finances or taxes or cheating on yourself, like I have cheated myself out of an amazing educational experience for many years because of my own personal shadows. My own shadow that told me I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't good enough. For me, that was my biggest shadow. And I am pushing through that, and I'm transformed, and I'm on the other side. I have delivered myself from that shadow. And it is so much more amazing on the other side. Anyway, I know you've got this. You can do it. Thank you for joining me, and let's let her out. She wants to be exposed. She wants to be out there. And I know that your shadows, they think they're protecting you. You think that you're protecting yourself and you're keeping yourself safe and in this cocoon that's just going to keep all the rest of the world out. That's not why you're here. You're not here to be separated from the rest of us. You're here to shine. You're here to show through. There are people in this world who need you to express your goddess within so that they have the permission to express their goddess within. We all need each other in this process. So find what's true for you. Where is your reality? Where are you at? Where in your life are you allowing your shadows to hold your goddess back? And deliver yourself from them, because you can do it. Thank you for joining me in this section. I'll see you in the next one.